Well, welcome Pia and Charlotte, and
Thank you.
I'd really like to ask you some questions about the Danish education system, if you like, because our undergraduate students have studied Denmark's education system along with other European systems and how they're different from the English system. And I just wondered, I know you've only had a short visit this time to England, but you've been before. What's your perception of how the Danish system, how it differs from the English system of education? What are the most important things, the obvious things?
I think, well, from my experience, a very big difference is that you have physical divided or separated phases in school from year 6 until year 16, and we keep all our students together in one school, if it's possible. Unless it's a very small school in a rural area, we will have perhaps students from 6 years until 11, 12 years, and then they'll go to another school, but we try to keep them together in one compulsory school.
And what kind of numbers would you have in a school that had children from age 6 to 16?
It will be around from 300 until 500 on an average, but it could be more, up to 1,500 actually.
Yeah, 1,000 probably would be not an unusual size of school in this country, for just as our high schools from 11 to 16 or 11 to 18. And after the age of 16, where do they go from there? What happens to them then?
They go to secondary upper level schools, gymnasium.
Okay.
And usually these schools are much bigger. The biggest school, gymnasium, is actually located in Silkeborg, and it encounters about 1,500 students between the ages of 16 and 19.
19. And is it a legal requirement that they go to school until they're 19, or can they leave school at 16?
They can leave at 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do many do that? Or how, do most of them stay in education?
Yeah.
And what about when they go on at 19? Do they most of them look to go on to university to gain a degree? What kind of numbers, proportion, percentage would stay on to do that? Do you know?
Oh, I don't really know. I know it's about 87% that finish secondary upper level school.
Right.
And I don't know how many actually attend university and do a degree.
Okay.
Usually, most young people have a sabbatical year after secondary, 1 or 2, and then attend university.
What happens to them before they go to school then, up to 6? Because our children would have been in school from 3 until 6, and sometimes in a even the 6-year-olds would be, the 5 and 6-year-olds could be having quite a formal curriculum in some schools. What about yours? What do your children do?
They attend what we call kindergarten, preschool, and
But it has nothing to do with school actually.
No.
They are playing and having fun from the 3 until 6, and then they attend to school.
yeah. Well, they have what they call learning plans.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
They have to. It's an obligation to write learning plans for the kindergarten.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a movement towards being more structured in the learning environment in the kindergarten at the moment, but it's not very.
So they have no set curriculum as such in the kindergarten.
They have some themes they have to cover.
Yeah.
For example, nature. And social skills and reading skills, and I can't remember how many, what else it is, but they have about creativity is one very important one.
It sounds as if it's similar to our early years curriculum, the framework of our early years curriculum. What about as the children come into at 6, they're they come into the folk school.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mhm.
And who sets the curriculum for the folk school? Is it a national curriculum? Is it the same in every folk school within Denmark?
There is a national curriculum, but it's very broad. And
Right.
it's up to the individual teacher how the curriculum is a part of the teaching plan. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the teachers have some flexibility on how they can deliver the curriculum.
They work with phases. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. The first and the second and the third grade has a curriculum, and it's up to the teachers when they put things in.
All right.
So
yeah.
it's not just
Yeah.
1 year, but they've got 3 years to decide when to do what.
And would the teachers work collaboratively within a phase? Would they work collaboratively to plan that?
Yeah,
as well?
they work together.
Okay. We hear a lot in the UK, and what's become popular is something we refer to as forest schools, which we would equate to learning in the outdoors, and something we've gained from Scandinavia. So is that something that is normal in your own education system, the idea of forest schools?
Well, not for the entire school, but part of the school will often have some teaching outdoor teaching. And some schools work with the entire year, not just for being outside or do outside teaching, but also to have the students being actively involved and exercise, you could say, actually gets them.
And it will be for that purpose as well as the exercise, just as much as
There's
physical development as well as the psychological development as well.
both.
But,
Yeah.
all right, very good. It's something that we are looking towards. What about children with we would refer to them as children with special educational needs, with additional needs. How do you cater for those within your schools? Do they remain within the school? Do they go to a different type of education establishment? How do you cater for their needs?
Well, actually, it's different from municipality to municipality. But in Silkeborg, we have some schools, I think it's 2, for special needs classes. And then we are trying very hard to include special needs students into the mainstream classes.
Is that a government policy that you would be following?
Yeah, it is definitely a national policy.
I suppose my final question really would be about, not about teachers so much, as about teaching assistants, support in the classroom, support for learning in the classroom. Is that something that is quite normal in Danish schools, to have teaching assistants?
No, it isn't.
Oh, right.
But we have tried.
We are still trying.
Yeah,
we're still trying. They do some research investigation in 1 or 2 schools in Singapore. And they have applied for national funding for trying it out. Yeah.
But the teachers' union is not so fond of it, because they think that it could maybe push some of the teachers out if the assistants will take over some of their job. Maybe they don't want to.
Maybe the teaching assistants could end up being better than the teachers.
Yeah,
You never know.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks, Charlotte. Thank you, Pia. That's great.